Guys, what's up? Dead Dash here, coming to you today. Saw this video come up by Pedro, and I'm glad he put it up. I think this is a great discussion to have, and I was going to go into the comments and try to respond to this, but I thought, you know what? I don't think that's not gonna come through when I'm writing it. So I want to run a couple pieces of clips here. I'm not going to run the whole video, and then I'm going to respond to it and give you my thoughts. And Pedro, I'm going to give you the response you're looking for, give you some ideas. I think I can help you out here. So let's get into the video a little bit here. I'll show you a few clips from the video, and then we're going to get into talking about what we need to on this. So let's start playing it right here.
I'm confused. Really confused. I need your help in this video. I'm lost. I'm confused. Let's talk. And they want some protections. Point blank period. Okay. Now, I am not the most educated and well-versed on these subjects, but I've seen enough and I've talked to enough people to have an opinion at least. But I am confused. I am confused. On one end, we are independent contractors, and a lot of the content I see, conversations I have, we love being independent and having the freedom, the flexibilities, not having a boss, being able to work when we want most of the time. Independent contractor. And I am making this video because I want to learn. I don't understand why we can say we're independent contractors in one breath, and in the next moment, we want legislation and we want things to be passed for us. So are we independent, or do we need the government to help us? We can't have both. Or can we? A lot of us, it seems like we want a short-term solution to a bigger problem, right? And I don't know what the answer is. I don't have it. That's not my stance. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about betting on you, setting goals, doing it one day at a time. Betting on you, the individual. You, the individual, can do more for yourself on a day-to-day basis, a year-to-year basis, if you control the things you can control and decide to choose your energy and point it in a positive direction, will do way more than getting an extra 20 cents, 30 cents. What are we talking about here? I don't get what's happening. And I need somebody smarter than me to help me out, because we can't talk off of both sides of our mouth. We can't want everything. We can't want this and then want this, and then we're not happy when we don't get this, but then we still get this. I'm confused. I need y'all to help me out.
All right, guys. So that is the crux of the video. That is the question that he's asking, and I'm going to respond to that. So I'm going to give you my thoughts, Pedro. I think I can help you out with a couple of things. So number one of the things you focused on in there is you're asking the question. You're confused because you see gig workers, gig business operators, whatever you want to call us, out here asking for legislation and asking for help. And you're like, how can you be asking for help if you want to be an independent contractor? Isn't that a conflicting situation? And there's a simple solution to all of this. Number one, yes. Asking the government to come in and intervene in a way we've asked, in a way it's being asked, and a lot of these legislative directives is not helpful at all. And the reason being is because it's asking that what we're asking for in those bills is for guaranteed wages, guaranteed pay, guaranteed benefits. Essentially asking that we become some sort of hybrid employee. And that shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what we are, and it's real simple what we are. Because if you go into any TOS on any of these apps, and I challenge anyone to do it, read the recitals page, read the descriptions of what we are, and each one of them says, undoubtedly, you are a business. You are a business that we are hooking up with other businesses who need help, customers of businesses that need help with deliveries, with shopping, whatever it might be, folding laundry, whatever it is. These apps are providing your business with the opportunity to work. And you're a business. And they're asking you to acknowledge that in your TOS. And when you acknowledge that, you're acknowledging that you're responsible for yourself. When this legislation is passed, what they're trying to do is to say, well, no, these gig apps that are simply technology platforms offering opportunities to work. Well, if they want to offer the opportunity to a dasher to work or to a delivery driver to work, well, you're going to need to provide benefits, a guarantee. It doesn't work. That's putting a circular object in a square hole or a square peg in a circular hole. It doesn't work. It never will work. And the apps will never be able to run as an employer because they aren't. They don't have the infrastructure. They have zero infrastructure. There isn't a headquarters. There isn't this big infrastructure that's probably envisioned in most dashers' mind, that there isn't a place to become an employee at because there isn't an employer that exists. There's just a technology platform who is offering up technology to delivery businesses that will allow them to operate and make deliveries and be aware of the businesses in their community that need your delivery services. Now, I'm getting into this because this is wherein the solution lies. Because this is when we are asking for legislation to be drafted. When we're asking for government intervention, we need to understand what we're asking for. And this is the problem that's existing right now. Yes, we can be independent contractors and have the government present. But what we need from the government is not guaranteed wages and guaranteed benefits. What we need from the government is for them to do their role, which is what a government is supposed to do. And that is they're supposed to be regulators of markets, market creators, but they're not supposed to involve themselves in the market. And they're not supposed to create regulations to which interfere in the market's operation. But what they are to do is to create a fair marketplace, which we are lacking right now because the government doesn't even realize the marketplace exists. Because they don't even realize that we as delivery drivers are in fact businesses and that this is in fact a business market where contracts are being offered every single day between two businesses. And the place where these contracts are being regulated are only by the apps themselves, by their TOSs. So the helpful thing we need is either on a state by state, on a federal level, whatever, however it needs to be done. But if these gig platforms want to operate, then there needs to be in each state that they're operating in a agency that's going to regulate the contracts that they're going to offer to ensure fairness in the contracts and ensure that you're getting equal, that each party is being treated equally when these contracts are offered. And then you also need to ensure the safety and fairness of the contracts. And the safety part is us driving around, having to try to make financial decisions while we're driving 70 miles an hour down the interstate or 30 miles an hour into a residential area where children are playing and we're getting spammed with an offer right as we're about to go to drop off should never be occurring. It should be a requirement that our vehicle is stationary, where we're giving an adequate amount of time to review the contract, and that we also then receive all pertinent information in that contract so that we can make a valid business decision on whether or not that is a profitable contract that makes sense to our bottom line. And if it doesn't, we hit decline. If it does, we hit accept. Now, making those changes alone will absolutely turn the tables. We will no longer need a pay guarantee because by giving adequate time for a driver to consider the offer, less drivers will see eyes on that offer. The market will start to work from the sense that the restaurants will be saying, hey, we need a driver on this DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber. So it will make them have to make better offers to us to ensure that we're going to take the offer faster the way it should be, not because we want to go after a 70% acceptance rate, but because it's a profitable offer. The customer will be also putting that pressure to say, hey, I'm going to cancel my order. Where's my order at, DoorDash? Get the offer out. I paid you my money. The restaurant's paid money. And they're like, hey, we want this transaction done. So make a fair offer, get somebody out on it, and quit playing games. And that will be solved by ensuring that there's enough time by the driver to look at the offer. And then two, that when the driver looks at the offer and sees what it is and can see all aspects of the transaction, then can make a fair decision. They can say yes or no and then send it back. And then another offer could come their way. And it will require that that offer be repriced and sent back in so that it adequately compensates for all factors of the order. 3D should be paid out and shown. This is the distance. This is your pay for distance or miles. This is your pay for the duration of the order, the time you're going to spend working the order. And then this is the desirability of the order based on where it's got to be delivered, how long you might have to wait at the restaurant. Here's what's being paid there. And obviously the duration of the order is something that's a projection. And again, DoorDash should be using the algorithm and the data it's collecting to make better pricing decisions that should reflect the outcome of the order. And that should really be the analysis that should be being done, is how well did their algorithm predict the order outcome. And it should be, the goal should be to say, if they're predicting $13 is what this should represent, and it ends up being $15 because there was extra time on there and there was extra wait time and this and that, then their goal should be to say, all right, let's make sure we're getting closer and closer to the original offer instead of the ending offer. These are the things that we need help with. So the answer to the question, Pedro, of that you pose in this video is, do we need government? Yes, we do. But we need the right form of government and we need the right intervention of government. Bottom line. That's it. What we don't need is we don't need guaranteed minimums. We don't need guaranteed benefits. That is our responsibility as a delivery business to provide ourselves with that and to provide ourselves with insurances and protections. But that's where you need government at. Regulating the market, creating fairness in the market, providing that there's safety and security in the market, and making sure that we are recognized as an equal party when it comes to the contract offering process and when it comes to getting offered contracts. And if that happens, the contracts will begin to represent the full market value of what these offers should be, and we will no longer need any minimum guarantee because we should be able to generate enough income and enough revenue for our businesses by allowing the marketplace to help us to determine it while we're bidding on these contracts. But we can't put a fair bid in for a contract if you don't understand what you're bidding on. So, Pedro, that's my response. That's what hopefully this helps and gives you some perspective on what it is that needs to happen here. But I don't think this is an issue of, you referenced in the video part-time versus full-time. I don't think that's really a problem because, or really the issue, the issue that you say it is, because whether you're full-time or you're part-time, if you're operating in unfair market conditions, it doesn't matter. You're still getting taken advantage of. And maybe the part-timer doesn't understand it as much, but that doesn't make it any less wrong. And they should want fair market conditions, that they know when they go out to give an hour of their time towards their business, however short term and small it is, they should want to know that they're operating in fair conditions, in a fair marketplace. And I would tell you that most people, when they start seeing the full information, will make better decisions. And better decisions will lead to better outcomes. It's just common sense. But that's what we need. And we need to be able to talk about this. We need to be able to talk about this correctly with regulators. We need to be able to put the right information out. Those with the bigger voices, the bigger reach, need to be talking about these things in the correct way and educating people, creating awareness around what's actually needed and directing the conversation into the areas and places that will actually help us get to where we want to be at. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts. Like I said, it was a lot to me to put in a comment. Pedro, if you watch this, thank you for watching, man. Give me your thoughts. You know, if you want to. Anybody who watches this, put your comments in there if you want to give me a quick comment. Or I would encourage anyone who watches this, if you're inspired, make a video. Let's get lots of videos on this. Do what I did. Make a video. Respond to Pedro's video. Respond to my video. Let's get a movement around this where there's a lot of voices and a lot of content going out on this. Because this is a great video. So I thank Pedro for putting it out. I thank you for starting the discussion, guys. Creators, let's start the discussion and let's start talking about this, because this is what we need to be talking about. So this is the exact stuff we need to be talking about. Hats off, man. And appreciate you starting this. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, as always, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and like button as well. And as always, stay safe, stay profitable, and I'll be talking to you soon.